Okay, this little one here is just to say that you are going to need an attention span. All right. I don't know how many people who need to see this will see it, but when I say go back and watch, listen to the Neville, it's more listen. There's no video associated with them. It's just audio with like a background image. But when I say to go watch the Neville videos in my backlog or wherever, all right, the Neville lectures, right, that stuff is invaluable. I don't care how many YouTubers you watch, how many new great ways of, rehashing this material people come up with. We talk about, I talk about other stuff too, but there's still no substitute or replacement for Neville Goddard's lectures. You need, honestly, you really need to look at that stuff to listen to it. And I'm sorry to say you're going to need a little bit of an attention span in order to do it. You can't sit there, click on a video, watch it for a minute and 30 seconds, and then expect to get something out of it. All right. I know we don't all have huge blocks of time. It's a busy world, blah, blah, blah. But you can figure out when you can get a half hour, an hour or so to watch something, to listen to something like that. You know, I have a very busy life with a family and everything, and a job and career, whatever, hobbies, etc. But I always find the time to listen to the Neville lectures. It makes a big difference. And whenever if I feel myself getting down or whatever, honestly, Neville always gets me back on track, more so than any other YouTuber or my own material. Neville Goddard just had a way of putting things. Now, some people, I don't know, I've heard some people say they find it boring. Okay, some of his audios are old and they're not the greatest quality, but there's some pretty good ones on YouTube. Even people like me, we try to clean them up. There's only so much you can do with these old audios, but some of the ones that came from his vinyl records are of superb quality. So that's not an excuse, okay? And the way he spoke, he didn't speak in a hard to understand way. He spoke in a way that was very refined. The man was from Barbados. When he was young, it was a British colony or whatever, or part of the British Commonwealth. He had a certain British way of speaking, which I find very wonderful to listen to. The man had a magnificent accent and way of speaking. So he's not hard to understand at all. I honestly don't understand where someone would say they find him boring. And, if you find this stuff boring, then honestly, listen, go back to your regular humdrum life of just hoping things are going to be better for you. Okay? Because that's not what gets stuff done. You're going to need some tough love at some point. Go back to your humdrum life where you just wished things might get better, or you relied on the odds, the probabilities, which were never in your favor to begin with, right? In that that mindset, that schema, whatever you want to call it. You gotta listen to the stuff. You have to listen to the material, right? Listen to the reasoning. Listen to the techniques. Neville gives that stuff over and over and over again. People like me try to digest it even more and put it into, more whatever. But there's no watch anything you want, really, but there's no substitute for the Neville material, of which I and others have plenty of on YouTube. It's everywhere you look. Do a search on Neville Goddard lecture. You come up with tons of stuff. Go back into my videos. I have tons of them. Tons of them. One of the ones I recommend the most, if you look in my backlog, is Feel After Him. That is a beautiful lecture. But there's plenty of others where he talks about living in the wish fulfilled. He talks about how to imagine before bed, how to think from and not of. Big difference, thinking from and not of, the situation you want to manifest. And of course, there's things like affirmations, which I'm big on. I think it's great to train for the mental diet. Neville talks about the mental diet constantly, and that I cannot overstate enough how much mental diet matters in changing the way your mind thinks and the way you think about reality, and the material that you feed into your subconscious. It's so very important. So, affirmations, mental diet, SATS, state akin to sleep before bed, imagining. A lot of times if you have a problem imagining from the wish fulfilled, the affirmations will help bridge that gap. They really help bridge that gap and get you there faster. So, but go back and listen to the Neville lectures. They really matter, and watch them. Yes, sometimes they're 45 minutes to an hour long. Listen to the entire thing. You don't even have to watch. Just put it down and have it loud enough that you can listen, because there's no video anyway to go with it. Just listen to them. I implore you, listen to the Neville material. I can't say it enough. So, short attention spans aren't going to get you anywhere in this game. Not in the beginning anyway. You need to really, really understand this stuff and change the way you're thinking. And if you can't think past 30 seconds or 15 seconds of a presentation or a video, like the 50 that are probably already clicked off this, they're not going to go anywhere. And they're the same people who are going to sit here and say, this stuff doesn't work. They're going to go back to their, they're going to hear someone talking about this stuff and they're going to say, this doesn't work. Or they're going to sit there and they're going to comment, this stuff doesn't work, because you didn't give it the time. You didn't give it your attention. You don't have an attention span. You need to constantly be entertained by bells and whistles and smoke and mirrors and everything. This isn't entertainment in that way, And watch your entertainment too. That's another thing. Watch what you're consuming. I don't say this enough in my videos. I'm going to say it here for the ones that had the attention span enough to get to this point. Watch what you're consuming in your entertainment. There's a lot of cynical, rotten entertainment out there, which reinforces a bad mental diet, right? It reinforces a bad mental diet, and you're doing more harm than good. You wouldn't believe how much your entertainment choices bog you down. People who, I try to tell some people this about watching things about murder mysteries and murder and, the ID channel and all that negativity, and it gives you a bad mental outlook, and it makes you expect the worst out of people. You're always looking over your shoulder thinking there's a creep out. Now, I'm not saying not to be aware and to be somewhat safe, but I mean, you obsess yourself with this stuff, you're going to draw that in, and it's the same thing with your entertainment. These bachelor and single shows where, people are expressing the worst, the absolute worst in relationships, the worst behavior and everything else, and the worst expectations from the opposite or the eligible whatever, whoever they're looking for, the SP stuff. Really, watch what you're consuming in your entertainment. You'd be surprised how much negativity and bad stuff you're feeding your subconscious, which will just turn around and manifest in your life. So have an attention span. Listen to the old Neville videos, in addition to all the new stuff and the techniques and everything that you get from YouTubers like me. Do the affirmations, make everything positive, keep that mental diet going. And watch your entertainment. Big one right there. If there's any tip you ever had, watch what you consume in the form of entertainment. That's a big one. People don't talk about it enough. They don't even realize it. It's like a sleeper. It comes under the radar, flies in under the radar, and knocks people out, right? It knocks them, it infects their subconscious with so much negativity. And then they wonder why these things are manifesting in their life, because, it feeds in. People say, oh, that's my life. That explains everything. Yeah, you're darn right it explains everything. If that's what you're, especially if you resonate, you tell yourself you resonate with that garbage, and then you're surprised why things are happening the way they are, why your life is in a shambles. That's a big part of it. So anyway, please like and subscribe. But go back, watch the Neville stuff over and over and over and over again. And, I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with me for this long. Bye.